And the journey continues. Mass Effect in the... Alright, where are we at? Okay, so I did read a message that confused me a little bit because I did not recognize the system that I'm in now. I didn't recognize the name. But it's actually the system I'm in now. It was a journal entry here, this listening post in this system. Get to the base, find out what's going on. Well, we did. We did find out what's going on. And it was a message, or what we discovered was that the Rachni that were here could have come from Argus Row, which we've already been to Argus Row, so I was expecting a new system to be unlocked in that cluster. But when I went here to look, these were here before. Neither one of these are new, and I don't see anything else new here. So I'm not sure if maybe we just already did it when we were here the first time, or if we have to go back. But it does say complete. So right now, what I'm going to do is there's one other system here in this cluster that I still need to go to. So this is our destination. And let's find out what's here. That's the planet we'll be landing on. Sweet. There's really only one thing remaining that I need to find that you can uncover doing these scans. All the other ones I have found, but every additional one is still worth some XP. Not really a whole lot. It's worth scanning the system, what I just did, but not really. It's more trouble than it's worth once we land on the planet, running around trying to find all those surveys. So I'm not doing that this time around because, again, I've already completed all that. And the little bit of XP is not worth it. So we'll only be visiting marked locations on the map and the overall objective for the planet, which is, there's that listening post is probably the... All right, so we're going to go out here and hit that question mark first, then swing back this way for those other two items and hit the listening post last. The terrain on this planet looks to be bearable and not as annoying as some of the past few planets I have been on. And again, I'm pointing out just the visual. BioWare has always just been on top of the visual game. I mean, this game, even still today, as old as this game is still just pretty remarkable and impressive in regard to its visual aspect. Like, that's pretty awesome right there. Quite the view. And then panning over this way, look at how dark, look at that. I mean, this is just awesome. BioWare has, been among, one of my favorite developers since I was a little kid. The original Baldur's Gate was BioWare. Was one of my favorites. Like my favorite, actually, the favorite Dungeons and Dragons game on the PC when I was a kid. And you can even get Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 on the PlayStation and find out more backstory on the characters. Some of the characters from the first, from the original are in the new Baldur's Gate 3, which is Game of the Year, if I am correct or not. I don't believe it's Game of the Year. But it's definitely an awesome game, Baldur's Gate 3, which I really should be making videos for that, making a platinum guide for that, considering it is a newer game and not a many years old game like this, because no one's probably ever watching this, and I'm just talking to myself. Anyway, BioWare has always just been among my favorite. Now, the first Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect, was before EA acquired BioWare. I guess that kind of explains why there's such a dramatic change in the game, not the gameplay, but several aspects of the game, major change between 1 and 2. And that's because, that was after EA acquired BioWare. Alright, get back that way now. But even after EA, acquired BioWare is still always on top of the visual game. I mean, look at that. That is awesome. And when we get to the moon, you get some pretty awesome visual atmosphere on the moon, or on that asteroid as well. There are some BioWare projects that I refuse to participate in, like Anthem. Anthem seems to have been a flop. I never played it, so I can't, really say anything about it, honestly, because again, I've never played it. But it just seemed to be a flop, and I refuse to play it simply because of how how they handled Mass Effect. After the third one, it seemed like they were just done with the game and they weren't going to make another one. And it seemed like the only reason they made Andromeda was because the fan rage was so high about how the third one ended that they did do Andromeda. And even the next Mass Effect just doesn't really seem like a priority. It seems like, oh, well, I guess we'll have to make another one, and they'll probably, again, I said earlier that Andromeda really is the best Mass Effect so far as gameplay, as far as, the improvements made on the maneuverability by adding the boosters on your armor, so that you can make boosted slides and jumps, and it really is a better game. It just got such a bad rap because of bugs and just a horrible rush job story that was not anywhere near as epic as the trilogy, as the Shepherd saga, we'll call it. The Reaper, maybe. Well, I prefer to call it the Shepherd saga instead of the Reaper saga. Anyway. So, as much as I enjoyed Andromeda, there just wasn't really the backing behind it to really make it great. again, it's like they felt like they had to do it just to please the fans because there was so much fuss over how 3 ended. And even 3 was a rush job. That Reaper invasion never should have happened. At least not until Mass Effect 6, 7, maybe even 8. And here we are, like, talking about how 5 is like, we don't even know when 5, if and when it'll ever even come out. Oh yeah, we hear they're working on it, but, you know, it's like, okay, whatever. And again, they come out with something like Anthem. And that really made me, like, mad. Like, seriously, I'm like, screw them, screw Anthem, I'm not playing it. Because of how they handled Mass Effect. Dragon Age, I actually played Dragon Age before playing Mass Effect. And Dragon Age is another great game that I love. Again, BioWare has always been one of, or actually probably my favorite game developer. Alright, what the hell is going on here? Alright, I haven't been here yet, so I probably have to go here, then come back. I don't think this was this even marked on the map? I don't even think this is marked on the map. Look at that. Again, you know, amazing. And that's why it just disappoints me so bad, the way they've just kind of not made Mass Effect a priority and, you know, continuing this, you know, franchise. Which, you know, Dragon Age, they haven't, you know, there's another Dragon Age coming out. But again, I'm kind of worried that they keep doing the same thing with these Dragon Age games, where it's like a world-ending event. Like, every game doesn't have to be a world-ending event. Can you just make a game that we can, you know, like, level up our characters and just enjoy playing without worrying about the end of the frickin' world, please?
I say we get the hell out of here.
First Lieutenant Duran, sir. 3rd Brigade, 14th Infantry Regiment, and I am damn glad to see you.
We heard you needed some backup.
Actually, we need to get the hell out of here. But I guess your ship couldn't carry us all. They dropped us here a few months back. We get supplies every couple weeks. We didn't see anything local that was more dangerous than lichen. Yesterday, these animals started coming out of the ground. No idea where they're from. This is what's left out of 90 men. I'm the ranking officer.
They're called Rachni. You get a supply ship in recently?
Yeah, but that was an Alliance ship, Commander. I mean, it was a drone, running on automatics. But what...
This isn't the first time we've seen this. Will your unit be alright here?
What we just fought was a probe. Our seismic sensors are picking up a crapload more on their way up from underground. We've got 5 minutes, tops. We might be able to hold them off if we were at peak, but you can see the fighting's busted this place up.
Do what you can to secure your position. We'll see if we can get some of your defenses operational.
Aye, aye, Commander. You heard the man. Everybody pool magazines and grenades. Take a leak and a drink while you can. And if anyone wants a smoke, it's as good a time as any.
Alright, exactly how am I supposed to get these defenses up? Here we go, generator. Alright, apparently I need to drive the Mako over here. Nope, looks like I already did it. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get into the Mako now. But it's powering the defenses.
Not much time left, Commander.
Why is that
Yes,
thing
we won't
pointed
be
at the
leaving.
sky?
Talk about a near-run thing. You alright?
Never mind me. Are you alright?
Still on my feet. But we've been fighting for almost 26 hours straight. None of us will be standing for long.
Ma'am, we're getting a signal from one of the ground scan UAVs. A big hollow space about 500 meters under the surface.
Right. That must be it. That must be where they're coming from. My people aren't in any condition for a clearing operation, though.
Just point us in the right direction.
You don't have to do that, Commander. We've bled them. We can probably hold until a bigger ship arrives to get us off-world. If you want to take a throw at it, we'll give you the coordinates. But it's your call. You saved our asses, Commander. Thanks.
I think I gotta go over here and disconnect the Mako first. Maybe not. Yeah. And again, when I'm not after these surveys, they keep popping up without me even looking for them. So I might as well go ahead and get it real quick. It should be that outpost that I was trying to get in and couldn't. So it should be unlocked now. Yeah, as I was saying before about the Reaper invasion really never should have happened is because, I mean, all throughout the trilogy, I mean, well, 1 and 2, that's all you're doing as Shepard is trying to stop the Reapers from invading. But yet, Mass Effect 3, guess what? Well, Reaper invasion. Running around with a bunch of Rachni in here. Pull back. Why aren't they coming after me? in this one you can't even, you know, climb, jump, do anything. So Andromeda, like I said, is really the best one because adding those boosters allows you to jump, to climb. And again, you could do like boosted slides. And as it seems as successful as the multiplayer was in Mass Effect 3, I mean, it's completely side, you know, it's on the side. It's not at all part of the campaign. I mean, I mean, they try to tie it, or maybe it was Andromeda where they did try to tie it a little bit into the campaign. But again, the multiplayer is just completely on the side. But as successful as it was in Mass Effect 3 for there to be a multiplayer, or it seemed to me like it was very successful, they really did a slop job on Andromeda multiplayer. It wasn't really any improvement, and considering they didn't really put out the amount of DLC, I don't think they put any DLC out for it, or at least, you know, as much as they did for Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 has lots of DLC, or, you know, and the Legendary Edition includes all that DLC, but alright, let me find out where I did not go. It was one of these tunnels back here, apparently. Yeah, I get to talking anyway. But yeah, the multiplayer in Andromeda was, I mean, it was still fun, but they did not keep working at it. They just, you know, did it and then was done, and again, it didn't really seem to have enough support to continue to do anything with. So it was kind of a disappointment that they didn't do a better job with Mass Effect. Oh, look at that one. What the hell is it shooting at me? I mean, 3 was so successful on the multiplayer, they even started doing additional maps, increasing the difficulty of the, like adding some other factor that made it a little more difficult. Like the most visually appealing and amazing was this one map they added some acid rain to. So if you were running outside while it was raining, it would keep your shields from recharging, and even, I mean, it would damage them. While you were out in the rain, and I mean, just the visual effect of it was amazing. I mean, that was like my favorite map, and
Good to go,
to play when I was, you know, doing multiplayer, because it was just, it was really awesome and amazing. So yeah, with Andromeda, I don't think they did any additional anything. Like I said, they kind of just made it and then was done with it, because again, there just wasn't enough support to to really continue. I mean, again, it was released with so many bugs. It just got a bad rap right off the bat, and then with just a lame story. You know, it just, you know, yeah. Anyway, so who knows what's in store for the next Mass Effect? I know what I would do. I mean, again, they need to make Mass Effect a priority and make, you know, a game that can compete with something like Skyrim and Red Dead Redemption, GTA. You know, GTA 5 remained its full retail value of $60 for over 5 years. Any BioWare game is less than $20, $10 within a year. So it's very disappointing that they just haven't really given BioWare the support it needs to put out, you know, continue the Mass Effect franchise and put out a game that competes with those I just mentioned. Instead, they do something like Anthem. That's why I just refuse to even play it. Alright, now that finishes this cluster. Go back to Argus Row now to see if something else opened. Yes. So now after clearing out both of those systems, this did appear. So we'll go back here to finish up this. Again, I guarantee you it leads back to Cerberus being responsible for dispersing these Rachni into those systems. I could be wrong. Again, it's been a long time since I played this. Well, I guess roughly about 2 years since the Legendary Edition was first released. Alright, that's our destination most likely, unless it gives us which planet to land on. Yeah, board, okay. But they need to make multiplayer part of just like I think one of my favorite, before I gave up PC gaming, went back to console, I was playing the Dungeons and Dragons Online, and that actually has been probably my favorite MMO. Started playing MMOs back in the Pioneer with not Elder Scrolls, EverQuest. I mean, that was one of the pioneers for the whole MMO genre. And I've played many others that are much better than World of Warcraft. It blows my mind how big World of Warcraft got. Definitely not even in my top 5 of MMOs. Again, played, you know, many others that were, or several others that were much better. But Dungeons and Dragons Online it wasn't really into the PvP. It was, you know, mainly just co-op, and it would be just you and your party. Everything was instanced. I mean, the city, everybody would just run around in the city. And around the city, there would be places to enter dungeons. There we go. Hey, level 10 gear. Yeah, you would go around to the city to the dungeon locations. And when you entered each location, it was instanced, meaning it was just you and your party, nobody else would interfere. And you did have to have a healer, a rogue to disarm traps. I mean, the traps in that game definitely were lethal and not just, you know, something to ignore. I mean, you could completely just fail the mission, be unable to complete it because your rogue screwed up and either set off a trap instead of disarming it that would literally, you know, fail the mission. Or quest. Is there? There we go. A maze here. So I'm mostly getting level 10 gear now, so we'll definitely be hitting the asteroid. I think I'm going to go ahead and, well, no, I think we'll go ahead and just go ahead and hit the asteroid.
Personal data recorder for Major Elena Flores.
Play the first entry.
Sigma-23 is almost fully operational. The barracks and storage lockers are complete, and we've begun stocking the munitions. It's highly unlikely the Alliance will patrol in the nebula. I expect our only risk will be from pirates, and who'll believe them? Looks like we'll have space for 2 reinforced platoons of Cerberus commandos.
Cerberus may be a bigger threat than we had
There
assumed.
we go. Cerberus.
Play the second entry.
The package arrived today for field testing. I'm told they're fundamentally similar to the units being developed on Novaria. They promise this batch will be stable. Something about them developing in proximity to the master control unit. We detected some pirates setting up an anchorage in a neighboring system. I think we'll try deploying them there first.
Play the last entry.
They've escaped containment. Clever bastards. We treated them like animals. We should have treated them like POWs. They're spreading. Boarding the supply ships and sending them to random destinations. They'll be all over the cluster in a week. General, if you recover this message, my advice is, screw the Rachni. They're too smart. Use one of the other projects. Flores, signing off. For the final time.
A Rachni experiment gone awry. Again.
Let's go.
There armament? Oh, right here. Ooh, we got a minute, 10 seconds. Oh crap, there's Rachni everywhere. And this place is a maze. Oh, those are the, oh, well. There we go. But yeah, so in the multiplayer for Mass Effect 3 and Andromeda was 4-man squad co-op survival, you know, wave after wave of enemies. So why wouldn't they make the next Mass Effect similar to that, where you've got 4-man squad co-ops doing these assignments, just like the DDO, where you would just, based on the Citadel, you would go and just travel around in the Citadel to locations for you know, doing assignments and missions. I mean, that would just be awesome. And they could even do, in 3, there is a like an arena, but it's like simulated. You're not really in there, it's just simulation. So that would be a perfect like PvP setup to do those arena type PvP battles. So I mean, they could just do an amazing Mass Effect game, multiplayer, You know, the co-op style like DDO, where it's just instance for each party, and even opening up like a PvP arena. It's just like a simulation where you're not actually killing each other. That was just, you know, based on the Citadel, where there could even be missions that go outside the Citadel onto planets and stuff. I mean, there's just so unlimited possibilities. I mean, this whole Mass Effect universe just is an amazing, unlimited possibility of opportunity, and they just totally just sitting on it with their thumb up their ass. Anyway, enough about that. Believe next will be the asteroid. Anyway, see you there.